Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? Altered Carbon Season 2. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to take care of a little bit of business first, let some people trickle in, and then I'll get to it. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see a video at the very end of this video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, it takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to my vast video library and pops it up there for you. Up here is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, so it's going to come up there. Also, you can hit the bell down below there if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. So best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com and take a look at the schedule up there. And then also I mirrored it on my Facebook page as well. So I've got the schedule up in two places. Also, excuse me. Speaking of Facebook, I have a Facebook group page which you guys can post stuff and talk amongst yourselves. So far, I'm the only one posting stuff, but hey, that's what happens. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page, but no tiers set up as of yet. There will be some tiers at some point in time. I just, want to have stuff in place to, if you're going to give me money, I figure there should be something there for you. So, yeah, it'll happen at some point in time. All right. So, like I said, there's going to be a non-spoiler version first at the beginning here, and then I'm going to do a spoiler version. So, for those of you who, for some reason, haven't seen the second season of Altered Carbon on Netflix, this is your non-spoiler version of it. Is it worth your time? Did you like the first season? If you like the first season of it, you're going to like the second season of it. The second season's a little bit on the slower side. It was kind of a little bit different too. I'm going to get into it more in the spoiler version of it. But yeah, if you like the first season, the second season is worth your time. There you go. So if you didn't like the first season, then the second season is going to do it for you, obviously. So skip it. All right. You're just too far ahead of us, Dennis. We can't get into the news. Get to the news before you can. Yeah. So, spoiler alert. I am going to spoil the episode or spoil the season, I should say. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. So, all right. Where do I start on this? I honestly kind of got tired of Takeshi Kovac. Kovac? I don't know. People said his last name so many different ways that I started laughing at it. That was the first season too. Everyone says it a different way, and they fucking just need to go in and say, okay, this is how you say it, and this is how everyone should be saying it. But yeah, everyone said it differently. Trep, on the other hand, played by Simone Missick, I liked. I liked that whole storyline that was going on. There just wasn't enough of it. There really wasn't it. And also, I'm tired of Falconer. I really am. I'm just tired of the quest to find Falconer. She doesn't want to be found. Just stop looking for her, man. I mean, quite honestly, that whole storyline's played out. It really is. Yeah, that part of the story, just the main part of the story was boring to me. There's a couple times I actually fell asleep. I'll admit that freely, and had to go back and rewatch an episode because I fell asleep during a good majority of it. But yeah, it's sure if the actor playing the main character is going to work because he was such an asshole in the beginning. But as it went on, I liked him more. Are you talking about Anthony Mackie? Yeah, Anthony Mackie. I I don't know. He has a problem playing a lead character, quite honestly, for me anyway. He does great in ensemble pieces where he's in big groups like the Marvel movies and things like that. He's definitely a better group person than he is being the lead. He really, I have a feeling, I find he can't really carry a movie by himself or a TV series by himself. And I'm thinking that's the reason why they kind of paired him with Winter Soldier in Disney Plus's, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I thought was kind of interesting that they paired those two together. I'm like, okay. But Yeah, he did an okay job, but he was actually kind of boring to tell you the truth compared to everyone else that was around him. And Falconer, Jesus Christ, man, we need to get past her storyline because her storyline's just boring the shit out of me, quite honestly. I liked Trep's storyline. I liked Dig's storyline for that matter. I liked Poe's storyline that was going on. And I wanted to see a little bit more about the ancient ones or whatever it was that had originally built the stacks and the singing trees and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we got a little bit of Harlan and how he came about and basically killed an entire species. And that storyline was actually good, and we didn't get enough of it, to tell you the truth. We really didn't. We just kinda got a little taste of it to say, "Oh, yeah, this is what happened, but we're gonna move on to something more boring." Yeah. Um, I don't know. There was things that could have really, been focused on a little bit more, than what they did focus on, I think, and, been okay with that. Yeah, exactly, Vikings. The genocide story was much more interesting than anything else was going on, except for Poe. Exactly. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Penn says, yes, some of the storylines could have had an added episode to flesh them out. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. So Dig, the woman who played Dig, if I remember correctly, used to be on Stargate SG1. She had some stuff in there. Michael Shanks, of course, from Stargate SG1, who played the initial Methuselah who hires Takeshi. And I I have to go back and take a look and see who the showrunners are and all that stuff. But I have a feeling that all the Stargate SG1 people might have been involved in this season two, and we didn't have enough for the people who ran season one. Season one was actually really damn good. They did a great job. It moved along at a good pace. It had a compelling story. You had some what the fuck moments where things got twisted. And in this second season, it was just kind of like cut and dry. For the only thing that was kind of a what the fuck moment is when they bring in they double sleeve and bring in the younger Takeshi, uh, because they have a backup of him and put him in a sleeve in his old sleeve. And so you got two Takeshis running around, a young version and the older version. And that was interesting for a little while too, but we've had so many movies as of late where people are playing, dual roles, Gemini Man and all that kind of stuff that even that was kind of watered down a bit. So, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Penn. Season 1 was better. I'm gonna come back for season 3. Yeah. And younger Tack was, was good. Yeah. Jay Hicks says season 1 was far more there. And like I said, the whole thing with Dig and what is it? The archetypes or the basically the archaeologists that were looking at Harlan's world and all that stuff, and how they all got wiped out, and how Trep's wife was one of those. She was basically the last archaeologist left that was still alive. And why? Why did that happen? We don't know. We didn't get any of that fleshed out because all that shit was right there, and they didn't go for it at all. Yes, it was far from the worst thing I ever watched too, so I agree with you on that. So is it worth your time? Yes, if you like the first season, you're gonna like the second season. It might take you a little while to get through some of it. Some people aren't liking the second season as much, but yeah, it's still good. Um, some people, yeah, like I said, aren't really liking it, but it's few and far in between. There are more likes than dislikes. How many episodes are there? I think there were 8 episodes, if I remember correctly. Let me take a quick peek because I am on IMDb at the moment. And if I can actually get back there, there we go. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, there are 8 episodes. There you go. There are 8 episodes to it. I couldn't remember offhand because I watched it the first weekend it came out and then kind of forgot about it because there's other stuff I'm watching too. And they're 1 hour apiece, so roughly about 1 hour. So yeah, you got 8 hours of viewing right there. So if you're hit with the COVID-19 and you're sequestered, there's 8 hours for you right there. Penn Farm Girl says, I think 10 would have been better if they'd used them to flesh out the race that was wiped out. I think it's its own separate storyline, Penn. It really needs to be. It couldn't have fit in with like 2 episodes, 2 extra episodes. And frankly, that's what they should have focused on and that storyline and actually uncovered a little bit more. And they didn't because they kind of kept on the Falconer thing and the revolt and that whole thing and that just seemed kind of wishy-washy even when they were trying to say, oh, this guy is the leader now of Falconer's revolt now that she's not here, but they didn't really kind of flesh that out in the beginning. So when he came in, you're just like, yeah, okay. And then when he betrayed them, you're like, yeah, okay. So what? You know? That whole thing was just wasted. It was just kind of wasted space and wasted screen time, quite honestly. And could have been used for something else altogether. Because no one really gave a shit about it because it wasn't fleshed out. Yeah. Viking Bitch says if they had concentrated on the genocide, it would have been an interesting season. That was a very powerful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They would have wanted revenge, and that they could actually control the stacks because they can control. At one point, the ancient even says that you don't even know what this compound is and how to use it and how I can manipulate it. And basically, they can manipulate the compound that the stacks are made out of that makes stack possible actually. And that would have been interesting as well. So yeah. Yeah, Jay Hicks, I saw there's an Altered Carbon anime movie coming out on Netflix as well. It's called I think In the Stacks or something like that is what it's called. I just saw it when I was looking up Altered Carbon on IMDb. Yeah, I think it's how the stacks were made and everything, and how they're discovered and all that. I mean, the whole thing with Falconer is interesting in that she was a scientist that discovered how to make stacks, and wanted to do this so that human beings could live long enough to explore the stars and everything. And then that kind of all got perverted, and that's never even really. I mean, they keep mentioning it in 2 seasons now, and yet never have any ramifications for it. Which actually would have been an interesting storyline in and of itself. So, yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can actually spin this to focus a little bit better, and unfortunately, they don't. And Jaeger, Jaeger makes a comeback as well in this, and of course, he's re-sleeved into a different sleeve, Carrera, because they don't want him to be known so that people won't follow him and whatnot. And yeah, that just seemed kind of an odd thing, but they're trying to show how the Methuselahs basically control everything. And I don't know. It was just kind of an aside, and I was like, all right. There's a lot of really just kind of asides, things that were just kind of thrown out there. I kind of almost liken it to Avenue 5, where Avenue 5 just keeps throwing out these things that have happened in the future and with no consequence whatsoever. It's like, oh yeah, the Pacific Oceans are all dead now. Remember when Google crashed, kind of thing, that kind of stuff. And you're like, okay, all these storylines sound a lot better than what you're presenting to me right now. But why don't you kind of run with one of those? Because that would just be a little bit better. I know. There we go. So, is it worth your time? Yes, it is. If you liked the first season, I agree with you. If I can bitch, it is lazy writing. You don't just throw in. You don't throw something like that in unless you're going to actually run with it. It's uh, it's one of those things like, hey, how about we do this? No, let's just mention it as an idea instead. I know Avenue 5 is getting a second season. That's because HBO's got nothing else, quite honestly. They really don't. They're scrambling at the moment. Um, yeah. Uh, Viking Bitches, I was surprised at how little nudity there was in this season compared to the first one. Um, yeah, there was a lot more nudity in the first. That is kind of a weird thing too. Is there's a little bit more modesty in this one, and it was like, you think at this point that people had kind of evolved past that. It's like, yeah, you really don't need to, you know, you don't really need modesty if you're just resleeving all the time, kind of thing. And yeah, they should have just been nude all the time, I think. Oh man. So, what else is going on? Tomorrow is going to be another episode of Dispatches from Elsewhere. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tuesday is going to be Project Blue Book. Um, Wednesday and Thursday I'm off. Friday is going to be Clone Wars. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. And then, of course, next Sunday, a week from today, we get the premiere of season 3 of Westworld. That's right. Westworld on HBO. Excuse me. So, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Viking Bitch finally got around to watching it too. I mean, I've only been telling people that it's really, really good. I am excited too for season 3 of Westworld. I'm looking forward to it. I liked season 2. A lot of people didn't like season 2. I was one of those weirdos that did. So, yeah. I think it's gonna be fun. Yeah, Jay Hicks, I have been watching The New Pope. I like The New Pope. It's weird and it's hard to put my finger on that one. So, yeah. Blah blah. I only missed 2 episodes. Yeah. I know, but it took you a couple of days to catch up. So that's the you should be watching it now, damn it, when I tell you. Yeah, I need to watch season 2 of Castlevania as well and then start watching season 3. So I did end up watching I did have the intention of watching season 2 last night, or at least part of it. And then I started watching I Am Not Okay with This. And I went through the entire season of that one. So yeah. So they'll eventually be as they're worth my time on that one as well. Yeah. But I pretty much called what was going to happen in episode 2 of that series. Yeah, it was well, Stanley, it was easy to watch because they're less than half hour episodes, or like 20-minute episodes. So that's what made it a little easier for me because I was like, okay, I'll watch 1 or 2 episodes and see how it goes. And then I was like, oh, all right, this isn't bad. And I know it's based on a comic as well. So that's another reason why I was like, okay, I'll stick with it. And then also I knew it had superpowers involved and whatnot. Excuse me. Yeah, I pretty much burned through it one night. It wasn't that hard. There's only 8 episodes, and like I said, they're only 20 minutes long. Yeah, we don't care if it was worth your time or not, Movie Fanobi. I'm the one everyone comes to listen to. Uh, hey, Fanobi. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what was going on. Whatever. Ah, thank you, everybody. I'm gonna let you guys go for the day, or the evening, however it may be in your neck of the woods, because I lost an hour because of the stupid fucking daylight savings time, or you know, I don't know if we went back to daylight savings time or if we're on daylight savings time or what the fuck is going on, but all I know is I lost an hour. I forgot that it was happening this weekend. I woke up and I looked at my phone. And I'm like, wait, why is it an hour? And I'm like, oh, that's right. God. Yeah. It's just stupid, and the farmers don't even go by this shit anymore because the cows don't give a shit if it's, 1 hour later or 1 hour earlier. They really just don't give a shit. Well, they do give a shit, a lot of it, but that's what methane production is all about. But yeah, uh, I'm going to watch. I'm not okay with this. Oh, nice, Jay Hicks. Yeah, you'll have fun with it. It's good. Um, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. You hang on to the time for the shopping hours. Not who gives a shit about the shopping hours? Everyone shops online now anyway. Doesn't make any difference if it's night or day. People are buying their dildos at 4 o'clock in the morning, same as they do at 8 o'clock in the morning at work. All that kind of stuff. It's not like it's makes any difference if it's sunlight or dark out or whatever. There you go. So remember to like, share, and subscribe as Penn has just put up there. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end of this video. You're going to see a video pop up here. Hopefully it entices you enough to hit that subscribe button. Also up here is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off is what's up there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below here. If you, it's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. Also, all my links are up there too for YouTube, Facebook, what else is there? Patreon, Instagram, and Twitter. That's all up there as well. Yeah. Yeah. I know I gave up on signing that petition. I figured it's just not worth it anymore. Excuse me. Watch out for werewolves tomorrow at 1:48 p.m. Eastern. Why? I don't understand what that's all about, but sure. Thought werewolves only came out at night. Oh, the full moon. Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it. Got it. All right, everybody. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And until tomorrow for dispatches from elsewhere, I'll let you guys go. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up getting re-sleeved into a body that you really don't like and probably have rental payments to make on. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.